Hello and welcome to the Gothic Unicorn. Today, for reasons that I will get into a little later, I'm back working in 1/48 scale. Now, the current 1/48 scale project is my Boar's Head public house. Now, this is based off of the Last Breath In kit from Dead End by Petite Properties, and we're actually doing quite well with it. If I take the front off, you can hopefully see inside, and do excuse my chair. While I'm not filming, it doesn't creak. The minute I start filming, this thing starts creaking like crazy. I don't know what's wrong with it, I really don't. Inside, as you can see, hopefully, I've completed the bar, more or less. I've got the club room done, and I'm currently working on the furnishings for the final room I'm actually going to complete on camera, which is going to be the room of a lady of loose virtue. Now, I've done some of the furniture, and I'll just pull this in. We've got a rumpled bed, a pair of cabinets to go with the bed, and a dressing table, which I've dressed with a couple of bottles. They're a bit big for perfume bottles, but I'm not sure that there'd actually be anything in there. Maybe they're just there for decoration. I haven't decided, but that's as far as I've got. And so I'm going to be working on the other pieces for this room. I'm working on this because today, as I'm starting filming this, is Advent Calendar Day. Now, if you've been around my channel for a while, you will know that for the last 4 Christmases, I have had the 1/48 scale Advent Calendar from Petite Properties, and I've filmed it across the 25 days up until Christmas Day, and then I've put up a video for you all of what was in there. It's a kit. It's a item that is sold on the proviso that you don't reveal the details as you go along, to keep the surprise for people, which I think is brilliant. And so far, over those 4 times that I've done it, nobody's leaked it, which has been fantastic, really has. But today is the day. Today is the day when all around the world people are setting their alarms for times based off of times here in the UK to try and get one. Well, I'm pleased to report that at the moment we've gone through one of those time slots, and I was fortunate enough to get a calendar, so there will be another Advent Calendar video this year. And always the thought of that gets me wanting to work in this scale, so that's what I'm going to do. I've changed chairs because I just couldn't do with it. I'm starting out with the corner wash stand and towel rail kit. It was actually from last year's Advent Calendar. This was the first one that we got that included a 3D printed piece. I think it's a really nice little touch because it's, you know, it just shows you how you can make something of the piece. Now, I'm going to begin with my alcohol marker. Now, I don't normally include this bit on camera. I'm just going to move these onto my Andy paper plate. I'm using a paper plate for this, which I always do when I'm working on 1/48 scale pieces, because it just means that if I knock a piece, I've got a little more chance of it still being on the plate rather than disappearing off into the abyss, or the floor as it's also known. And all I'm going to do, because this is just a first coat is I'm just going to go over all the pieces. These are the pieces of the towel rail, which are very fine. I'm going to have to find something very fine to make a towel. And I'm also going to lift it up and just try and do the inside pieces. Now, you might notice that they're only fastened in a couple of places. But it's actually far easier doing this first basic coat while it's like this. Now, if you're painting it, obviously, there's a very good chance that you'll want to put it together before you paint it. There's a very simple reason for that. You can paint over a lot of glues, including my preferred glue. You can't stain over it, either with proper stains or an alcohol marker. So, other side, and just going to repeat. As I say, this is something that I don't normally include on camera because it's a bit like paint drying. We all know it has to be done, but we don't really all want to take the time to watch it. So I do multiple coats, but I find that if I put a good base coat on, it goes a long way. And I tend to wait a little bit between coats, but I also have a right side and a wrong side. I tend to consider the right side to be the outside, which tends to be the front side of this, because obviously being laser cut, you get some marks. And there's normally one side which is better than the other. So I'm just going to go back over these, and then all of this will have had 2 coats. Now, you may have noticed that my videos have been sporadic, even though we've been into spooky season, for no other reason than I'm really not been feeling it this year. There's a lot of reasons why that I can't go into on camera, but I'm hoping that if I give myself a little bit of grace, sort of don't be so hard on myself and just do what I can do, eventually I will hit upon something that I really, really want to be working on. That is the idea at any rate. Now, as you can see, some of these have cut through the really fine pieces, which I'm going to very carefully put onto there. Some of them I need to go over from the other side as well. And all I'm doing at the moment is I'm taking out the pieces of the towel rail just to no, it's still not come through. This is going to be a bit of a pain in the what's it. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's done it. And I'll put my bits of wash stand off to one side. It's not going anywhere because it's on the card. But yes, as I say, I'm still struggling, very much so. And whilst I know I have got some really lovely people watching my videos who are very supportive of me not not overdoing it to the point where I feel like I'm going to give up, which I have done. I have felt quite often this year like I'm going to give up, but I haven't, because all of a sudden I will get a little comment out of the blue that's like, I really like this stuff, you know, and it's like, okay, that's why I do it. I think that's why anybody does it, is because people appreciate it. I'd like to think that's why people make content, not just because, you know, it becomes a chore. So this is quite a straightforward, yeah, little piece, and it's one of these that you put together. Some glue that's been sitting out for a while, so it's hopefully started to go tacky. Start off with a little bit of glue on here. Now, this is a stick things on and make sure they sit at 90 degrees, which is easier said than done with such tiny pieces. And I've just knocked that out myself because it goes through, it doesn't. So I'm going to have to hold it like that. Yeah, that should do. And we've just got to wait for that piece to actually stick a bit. I give up. I'm putting a bit more glue on there. And that's the side that's had the glue on, so I know. And that's okay like that. Now, it does actually say in the instructions that this is really delicate. Well, it is, isn't it? I think we can all tell that. Now, the next piece that goes in is this little piece here. And we do this in the same way. We just stick a bit of glue on there and stick the correct piece into place. So it goes like that. Now the top piece is this piece, and that is going to go in there once my glue is dry enough that I can actually put it down. So I will be back shortly when I have done that. And I may also put the second piece on top, because you put these three in and then you put the second side in, which makes sense, I think. So I will probably be back once it's together and I can actually stand it somewhere. I did more than I intended to when I stopped the camera. Now, I finished off my little towel rail and I've added a small piece of tissue to work as a bit of a substitute for a towel. It's really difficult in this scale to find fabrics that sit right. But what I've done is I've just used a little piece of just ordinary tissue paper, stuck it down, and from the angle that I'm going to put it at, it will sort of suggest that there's a towel there. So that piece is finished. And I've also made the washstand. Now, I've made pieces like this before, where you stick the pieces into one side and then glue it over. Corner shelves, I think I did. in a previous make, and I put a bit of paint on the bowl and jug. Now, there should by rights be a slop bucket on the little shelf at the bottom, which would have been where you tipped the used water out of the bowl so it could then be carried away and disposed of. I may not stick this piece in place. I may go out looking for something suitable. I don't know yet, because where it's going to go in the back corner, it's going to be pretty difficult to try and glue a little tiny piece in. Not sure though, so I'm undecided on that. And while I was painting the little bowl and jug, I painted the candlesticks that I bought to go on the bedside cabinets. Now, I may, since I've got this one that is open, buy a tiny little chamber pot, if I can get one, to go in there. The chamber pot could have been on there as well with the washstand, especially as is the case in this room. It's going to be sort of divided off from the rest of the room, but also that's where we had bedside cabinets, nightstands. They were for the necessary. So that's where I've got to. I've also tried the furniture in the room, and I was going to include another kit, which was a suit stand and ballet mirror. I haven't really got room for it. It's going to make the room look too crowded, and I don't want the room to look that full. So I'm going to knock that one on the head, and instead I'm going to start on the room divide. Now, this is a screen. Screens have been a big part of rooms for many, many years. Not so much these days, because we tend to have rooms that are very much single purpose. So I've got the main screen, which is 5 panels, really nice shapes, and then I've got the decorative pieces. Now, quite often these decorative pieces, these panels, would have been yes, I'll think what the word is, upholstered. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to colour them in a different colour, just to add a touch of something. This one is just a frame, and there's a piece in there. I might see if I can find a little tiny sticker or something that will fit in there to just give it a bit of something. So I'm going to go off and I'm going to do some colouring on this, and definitely try and position it so that you see the better side, and I'll come back and maybe do sticking the last few bits on or something like that. Okay, here is the finished screen. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that it's actually been cut down from 5 to 3 panels, simply because in its 5 panel version it was too big for the room. Tried it, well, actually just tried the base piece, and it just came out too far. It was going to obstruct everything. So rather than have to change the entire room around, I cut it down, and I still like it. You still get the impact of it, and it still gives that little hint of faded grandeur, which is what I've been going for in this room. This room might once have been the room of somebody a little bit more successful. Not so much now. My next job is to put the room together. So I'm going to do that off camera, because otherwise all you will see is my hands in the way, because there is no way I can get anything in such a small space and stick it in place. and film it. It's just no way, as much as I'd like to. And then I'll come back and I'll show you the room, and then basically that's going to mean that this building's finished, which is quite an achievement, because the way I've been going this year, I didn't think I was going to finish anything, but we're getting there. Time for the big reveal, and I'm quite happy with it. I did think about adding a rug to the floor, but I don't know. Maybe I could have done one with some printed paper. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, here it is. Here is the Lady of Easy Virtues room. Now, the bedside cabinet on this side and the little washstand in the corner are not glued in yet. I can remove them. Remove the piece from the back with my handy dandy tweezers. The best thing ever for this scale, reverse action tweezers. I think that's what they're called. The ones you squeeze to actually open. You lose less pieces that way. The bed's looking a little bit wonky, but I'll get over it. And yeah, it's there. It looks like she's gone out to do whatever ladies of the night do during the day. Maybe she's gone to her actual home. We'll be back later, because just like the rest of the public house, it needs tidying up from the night before and getting ready for another day's business. When I do come to do my attic room, it's still empty at the moment. I've just got the roof in situ. I will possibly put something up, but do it as a do it in a different way, because it's going to be a little bit more risque and not for the narrow-minded. I think you can get along the lines of what I'm going to do. I have realised I need to paint around the edges of this, because I haven't done that yet. That I'm in getting my dark grey paint out. Won't take me very long to do that. But other than that, this house is complete. This building is complete, and I can decide which one of the remaining 3 properties I'm going to do next. I think I know which one it's going to be, because I think I want to do one of the smaller ones. I think I need to check. I have got a few bits for one, but I might change my mind. And as I said at the start of this video, I'm going to be having some more kits in a couple of months, so there might be some more pieces to go, and there might be some more ideas forthcoming as a result. But for now, I think what we can do is we can put the front back on of the last breath in and call it done. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out. I like the boar's head, and I've managed to do what I wanted to do, which is great. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have, please like, comment and subscribe. Maybe ring that notification bell, because I don't know when the next video is going to go up. I don't know when this video is going to go up. So the best thing I can suggest is that you hope that YouTube will see fit to let you know. And until next time, bye!